Oh, I guess I better go live over here. Shoot. Losing my mind. Hi, YouTube. Hold on just a second. How do I... Don't want to see this chat because I can't see it. Hi, y'all. Okay, I do want to see this chat. Okay, great. So it'll stop in a second. Okay. Happy Thursday. See if I can get y'all's chat. How are you? I missed you last week. Aaron, hi. I miss you. Hold on, I'm trying to get... Can you guys hear all the children at my house? There's a lot of kids in my house. Hi, Sandy. How are you, friend? Hey, Ange. I saw your other message and I just haven't had a chance to respond to you yet. It was really good chatting today, though. There's a legit summer party going on over here, Irene, like serious. Brian's little group of like high school friends when they were in high school. There's 4 of them. Well, there's really 5 of them that are really close, but there's 4 of them, 3 that are local, and then 1 that is in town right now from, why did I just forget where they live? North Carolina. Anyway, so there's like 100 kids here. I'm kidding. So really, who knows what could happen? Somebody could walk in here for sure. You are at Great Wolf Lodge. God bless you, Aaron. It is really fun. Like, it's a whole lot of crazy fun happening in my house right now. I text Brian. I was like, can you just make them pick up the Legos? Make them pick up the Legos and make them pick up all the Nerf guns, please, before they go. Hold on. We're going to get feedback for a second. Okay. Now I got y'all. All right. So tonight's going to be like a tiny bit different because it's one of those nights when I really have something on my heart that I want to chat about. And so we're going to. Hope that stays. So I don't know if y'all know this. It doesn't really matter, but I broadcast. I'm going to tell you. It's kind of just a weird fact. I always broadcast from my computer because I can do YouTube and Facebook at the same time. But you cannot watch your comments on Facebook on the computer. They're like really, really delayed, so you have to look at them on the phone. So that's why I try to get it hooked up. I am so glad that you're here tonight, though, because like I said, this is like a huge, I just have this thing in my heart that I feel like we don't talk about enough, and we do talk about it. It's very kind of like, I don't know, shunned or something. So I'm not afraid to talk about anything. But tonight we're going to talk about burnout and about what success looks like and what success looks like to you. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. We're going to talk about comparison. I'm going to fix this tripod so I get it how I like it so I can look at y'all's comments. Sorry. Thanks for bearing with me. So if this is your first time joining us, welcome. You have found yourself at Online Steps to Success. This is one of my favorite nights of the week. Whoops. Can you hear the children? They're very loud. They are very loud. It's okay. Okay. So tonight we are going to talk a little bit about burnout. We're going to talk about what success looks like. I was actually we started doing a huddle with my team on Thursdays right before this. So we have 30 minutes to kind of just chat, and it's really good. But we were talking about maternity leave. So one of my girls, Courtney, is going to have a baby right before September. And we were talking about automation and what does this look like moving forward, and how do I really set my business up to do this well? And I said, you know what, like really looking at your business in a span of, wouldn't it be great if I could spend 4 or 6 weeks off a couple times a year, not even when you have a baby, but just because. And there is this very loud and very dominant kind of rally cry around there has to be this hustle. And I know that what I'm going to say tonight is not going to be like the most popular thing, but I am just not of the school of thought that believes that you have to have this all or nothing, work every single day, can't stop, won't stop kind of like attitude about your business. I think that sort of mentality and that sort of teaching is the thing that burns people out. And I've just watched too many people walk away from incredible businesses for me to not talk about this more. And in honesty, like, I feel like I'm a little bit on the other side of it. And so I hope that I can kind of explain how I learned how to prevent burnout in a sense where hopefully you can learn how to prevent burnout. So one thing I'd love to know is if you feel like, I don't know, I would just love your thoughts. Like, do you feel like, yes, burnout is still okay saying that? Or are you more on the school of thought is, yes, burnout maybe is a thing, but I'm afraid to talk about it, or I don't want to bring it up. Where do you sit in that? And because I feel like there's like both sides of the story. So I'd love for you to comment and let me know while you're doing that. Hi friends, good to see you guys. I introduce myself. My name is Allison Dalkey. I have been doing this little live training for, I don't know, a couple of years now, every Thursday night, or it used to be Tuesdays, now it's Thursdays. Anyways, once a week. And my biggest passion and my biggest goal with this little chat, we're not even going to call it training because that is not what it's going to be like tonight. But my biggest goal for our time together is that you get to dream big, work smart, make money, and change your world and the world around you through your business. And I think that that's possible. It should happen in our lives, and I watch it happen in so many other people's lives. So I think, so it's funny because this isn't like the most positive topic, but I do think that it is a positive topic. So, yes, it is real. I took a vacay because I just felt stuck. Yes, I totally understand that. And it says, I feel like I'm on a burnout roller coaster. Try to hustle more, burnout. Don't do anything, then worry myself. Yeah. And then you get back in the cycle. Yes. I'm going through it right now. Yes, I feel you. So in full disclosure, well, let me just tell you a little bit. So I have been doing this business for, it's almost 12 years. So today I was thinking, I was like, is it almost 12 or is it almost 13? Has it always been 12 and it's about to be 13? I think it's about to be. Do your math. It's going to be 12. It's 2019. I started doing it in 07. Okay, so it's going to be 12 in November. Almost 12 years. There it is. It's long enough that I don't know. There you have it. I am crazy about direct sales. I am crazy about the opportunity that it offers. And here is something that I think people don't talk about enough. I was having a talk with a girlfriend the other day. She's actually with a different direct sales company, and we were just talking through, just talking about direct sales in general. And she was like, it is so hard sometimes because there are times when I lose my passion for the product. And let me disclose that. She didn't mean like she loses her passion for her product. It's just like sometimes you're like, I've been selling the same product for the past, however many years. And the great thing is like you haven't. There's been so many amazing partnerships and new developments and great products, right, come out that no, you're not selling the same product, but essentially yes. And it is easy to say like, am I still passionate about this product? Like as much as I was, it's very easy to slide out of like, yeah, I love it, but like, do I still want to tell everybody about it? It's very easy to slide out of that. And so if you've ever been in that place or you feel like you're in that place, that's an okay place to be. Because here's, I think, what the big picture is. And I think it's important that you kind of wrap your brain around this. The big picture is not necessarily that this product is life-changing. This product is incredible. And there are a million incredible things about it, and it just keeps getting better. But more than that, what's life-changing is the opportunity. And when you can continually get your mind wrapped around, it is about more than a product. It's about more than something I'm selling. It's actually about what it's done for me. Actually, I did not ask her if I could share this. Okay, so I'm just not going to say her name. I think she would probably be okay with it. But I saw a post tonight from one of our top level leaders, and it was just this beautiful and raw and honest post. And it kind of just like really talks about what we're going to talk about tonight, is like how we redefine success and how we kind of prevent that burnout. But she was talking about how she was like, I kind of had my business to take a back seat for a few years because of a lot of things in our family, things that happened in our life. And she was like, and I've almost felt guilty about that at times, that I wasn't like the top level leader that I needed to be or whatever. She was like, but she was saying something about how she took her kids to Disney for like the 8th time. And she was like, and we're here because of this business and all of the things that they get to do, gymnastics and cheer and all the extracurricular things and all of the extra stuff we have is because of this business. And she was like, so there's seasons when I want to feel bad about how I kind of had to take a step back. She's like, but when I look at this, she was like, I was at Disney today thinking, this is the best gift. Like, this business is the best gift. It does not have to be full on all the time. It does not have to be front and center of your life. It does not have to be the heartbeat of everything that you do. Your life can be that, and this can be a piece of it. And her post just so beautifully described that, and how she's in this season where she gets to come and start kind of like stepping back more into her leadership. But that's what this is about. Like, it's about just this gift of time and opportunity when you do it right. So I want to dispel this concept and this line of thought that the hustle has to be every day and that the hustle has to win, because that is how you burn yourself out. That's how you get to your 5 and your 6 and your 8 and your 10 and say, I just can't anymore. I just can't. And it's about so much more than your feelings. It's truly about this opportunity that is for your family and for your life, but it will burn you out if you're not careful. So let's talk a little bit about that. Where all of this came from. And I told you tonight's just going to be different. Like, I feel like I just want to talk to you from my heart about something that I feel really passionately about, because there have been so many times that I wanted to walk away. And now that I can look back and kind of process through, well, why did I want to walk away? A lot of it was because I wasn't healthy. I was trying to perform. I was comparing. I was trying to meet this standard of success that wasn't my standard. It was somebody else's. And so anytime you find yourself in that position where you're very conscious of what everybody else is doing, and you're very conscious of how everybody else is doing, and you're very conscious of your shortcomings, and you have this idea that you have not yet arrived, that is the place. It's not a good place. It's a place where you can really start to doubt your place in this business. And that's not a good thing. Bye, love you. Mwah. Yeah, go talk to daddy. I see you. Go talk to daddy. No, it's locked. What? Okay. Don't smash your fingers. There's 4 girls here. Oh, my video is for girls. It's for girls and guys. There's a small 4-year-old outside my office door. I keep saying she's 4. She's 3. She's going to be 4 in August. She's really trying to get in. She might be making an appearance. So here's one thing. Here's something I want to wrap up.
Come in here, Mom. But can I? My dad said I can.
Okay. I don't know if I've ever told all this story. I think I have. I know I've told this story because it's my favorite. Oh, you're going to work? Okay. Go over there and work. I was watching this video of it was a party. It was some company. I'm not even going to tell you what it was. But this woman's on camera, and she's essentially having a party on camera. Ugh, what is going on with my video? Haley, thanks for saying you love my hair. I'm still on YouTube.
I want your haircut.
I guess I'm still on.
Mom. I like your haircut.
Yes. So anyways, I was watching this video of a woman, she was doing a party online. And if you go out there, close that door. I don't want mosquitoes in here. And her kids were coming up, like, she kind of like had this setup where it was almost like she was in front of a backdrop. Well, her kids kept coming around the backdrop, and they were probably like 3 or 4 or something. And it was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. I watched it so many times. She was trying to explain this product to me, like showing it. Like, their kids kept looking at it. She kept like, and she like wasn't saying anything, but she was like swatting at them to get away. And I was like, she thinks they can't see her. Like, still, when I think about it, it makes me want to cry. But it kind of goes into my point of it is so funny that we think that this has to look a certain way. Like, if I'm doing something ever in my life where it is not okay for my 3-year-old to interrupt it, is that the kind of business I want to have? It's not. It's not the kind of business I want to have.
I was saying bye to them.
You were saying bye to our friends? Okay. That's so nice. I mean, it's just not. And granted, I understand, like, there's a time and a place for professionalism and making sure that your message is getting across and all of the things. But for me, my definition of success is not having this, like, perfectly professional, everything is scripted, everything looks a certain way, there's never toddlers in the background kind of life, because it's not my actual life. And I like my real life a whole lot more than I like my actual life. And I don't want to miss out on that because of my business. And I think that's kind of like what I was trying to get across tonight is, or even today in my post, is that we think sometimes that if we walk for a minute, that if we take a break. And I told this story today in a post. I learned to run about 10 years ago. I was never a runner. Actually, Jason Harwood is the one who suggested, don't bang it. Jason Harwood is the one that suggested I do Couch 5K and learn how to run. And I ran my first half marathon, and it was really therapeutic for me. And I really healed for me in the season when I was in. But what's funny about that, when I think about that, is, hey, that's good spelling, but you have to be quiet if you're going to be in here. I know you can't see it, but mommy's friends are here too. Okay? Okay. But when I think about that season, I was not the healthiest in terms of like knowing what was good for my soul and for my spirit. And I really thought that if I quit running, like if I stopped, that mile didn't count, that I had to run the whole way, like that I had to be fully on, fully in the whole way. And I think we do that with our business too. Hey, Mama said you have to be quiet, and that is not quiet. Got it? Okay. I think we do that with our business. It's that we think, okay, I have to hustle, and I have to hustle hard, and I have to go, and I can't stop. And if I stop, then I'm failing. Well, no. If you stop, you have just stopped. It doesn't mean that you're failing. If you lose a streak of I've connected with a customer or a potential customer this many days in a row for the past whatever, nobody cares. That is not actually the thing that grows your business. What actually grows your business is your intention and your heart. Now, this is not me giving you an excuse to be lazy or to not do the work. There's this super, super fine line, but I think growing a business that you love, that you thrive in, that part of that is figuring out where the line is for you. So yes, you need to be consistent. Yes, you need to do the work, but it is also okay to stop for a minute. It is also okay to take a break. And I just feel like there's too many people saying, you can't stop, you can't stop, you can't stop. Right? And that is why people leave, because they've been told they can't stop. They've been told they can't breathe. And it's not a healthy way to run your business. It's just not at all. One of the things, this might be a little fragmented. You're just going to have to try to follow me, I guess, tonight, because I don't have, like, my notes are pretty fragmented, but it's just kind of all of the spill out of my heart. I was talking to a leader today, and well, we've been talking for a little bit, haven't we? She'll know who it is since I started talking about it. We were talking about expectations, and so many times we become discouraged, or we become frustrated, or we feel like we are not successful because of unmet expectations. So I want to ask you something that I really want you to spend some time reflecting on and just kind of let it filter in and work through. What expectations are you setting for yourself? And what expectations are you forecasting onto your team members? What are you expecting of them? And what expectation are you setting for them to have access to you? Because this is where I think so many leaders miss the mark, is that we have created false expectations. We have said that we are available. We have said that you can contact us anytime. We have said you can always get on the Facebook page and ask a question. And while those might be good intentions, those are not realistic expectations. And those expectations will cause you to feel unrightfully unsuccessful. And they will cause your team members to feel like they were done a disservice. Well, if you told me I can text you anytime and you don't respond at 10:30, or you told me you could text me anytime or I could text you anytime, and you can't keep up with your text messages or your messenger or whatever, you've created a false sense of, you've created expectations that you cannot uphold. But here's the thing, most leaders don't sit down and say, what expectations am I creating? Do you? Have you done that? And maybe this is true. Maybe you're like a brand new consultant. You're just starting your business. I would say, I want you to start thinking as you're building your team, what expectations am I going to put out there for me? And also for me to meet for team members as their leader. What expectations are you going to set? It's something we don't talk about. It's something we don't think about, but it's vitally important that, especially now, if you're in a season where you feel, I just feel burnt out, the place to start is looking at the expectations you have for yourself. What is your idea of success? And here's the key. You cannot, for a second, look at somebody else. I feel like this is one of the most beautiful and amazing times in the world to grow a business in direct sales because of social media. And it's also one of the most horrific. Because 10 years ago, 11 years ago, I did not have social media to tell me how everybody else was doing. I didn't know how everybody else's business was. I knew how my business was. And I knew what my standards for success were. I knew what I was using as a measuring stick, right? I knew that this was my goal. And my goal was awesome. And I was reaching it. And then now, not only do I know my goal, but I know everybody else's goal. And I know how much bigger their goals are than mine. And it is very, very hard for some personalities to shut off and say, okay, I see their goal. That's cool. It's not mine. It's really hard, isn't it? So we get in this constant cycle of, we are in this comparison game and I don't feel successful, or I don't feel like expectations are being met because I'm not doing what she's doing. Part of the reason we hustle is to try to keep up with the crowd. And I am not interested in keeping up with the crowd. And you should not be interested in keeping up with the crowd. At the end of the day, you've got to learn the fine line between what does consistency look like for me and what does taking rest and a break look like for me? What does it look like to give myself grace? Because just far too often, there are leaders who beat themselves up about the fact that they're not doing enough, or that they're not meeting the expectations of other people. One is, you are projecting an expectation, whether you know it or not. It's time to look at that and say, is that an expectation that I can meet or that I want to meet? And if it's not, change it. If you have spread yourself too thin, if you have made yourself too available, if you feel like you are drowning, you have set the expectations far too high for what other people can expect of you. You are one person, and each of the people that you sign on, they have their own business. Yes, you get to lead and guide them, but it is not your responsibility to hold the weight of that either. Okay? So look at the expectations that you're allowing other people to have. You've set them, whether you know it or not. And if they're not realistic for you, change them. Change the expectations and explain it. I think the thing that becomes so frustrating is we feel like we can't come to our team, or we feel like we can't go to a group of people and say, I have screwed this up. Like I have really messed up. I think one of the most eye-opening things I ever did was I was in a season of burnout. Not even burnout, but I desperately wanted to leave. I desperately wanted to leave, and I couldn't leave because this was our livelihood. And so there was this really deep-seated resentment for me where I was like, I wasn't very happy about, like, I wanted to leave and I couldn't. And you know, in retrospect, yes, I could have, like, but I wasn't willing to give up my paycheck, right? And it was just this very, very unhealthy thing. And so instead of like looking at the expectation that I had put on myself and what I let my team expect of me and all of those things, instead of doing that, I just kind of shut down. And you might be there. You might be in that place where you are just in a place of like, I'm just not doing anything, or I'm just doing the bare minimum because I feel like I don't know how, or I can't keep up with the hustle, or I can't keep up with her, or I can't do as good as her. And so I'm out. You may be there. And I promise you that if you are there, you are not alone. And I have been there more times than I can count. But this one particular time, I did a world tour, some training, and I was speaking about something. I don't remember what. I just remember getting on stage and saying, I'm really sorry because I have pretty much checked out. And it was a season I had my third baby. We had 2 foster babies before that. I had had my third bio baby. I was homeschooling my first grader. I mean, it was life. And I felt like I was drowning, and I really resented this business. And so I don't want to say so much of it, but most of it was my fault. And I'm going to say the same is true for you. If you are in burnout, most of it is your fault. Now, not because you knew better. I didn't know better, and that's okay. But if you are feeling like you're burnt out, it is because you have not known where to put the walls up. You have not known where to place the boundaries, and that's okay. But it is also okay to say to your team, to say to your sponsor, to say to somebody like, I'm sorry. I feel like I didn't do this well. I got to this place where I felt like I wanted to leave. And I think the most amazing thing about saying that, and what I saw happen as I said it and in retrospect, like now, I don't know that I would say it on stage. I mean, I'm saying it to you, same thing, I guess. But like, I don't know if I would say it again on stage in front of all those people. But it was just one of those things that poured out of my heart. And what I learned was when I said it, it gave permission for other people to say it. I feel the same way. And when so many people feel that way, it's important to look at the whole thing and say, how do we do it better? How do we do it better? There's always a better way. And for so many of you, you have never been your own boss, right? You have always had somebody else to be your own boss. And there's that funny thing of like, you get to do as much or as little as you want. And that's a tricky balance, right? You can take this, sky's the limit, right? Or you can kind of do nothing. And what happens is in the middle of that, you have to figure out where you stand. You have to figure out where the healthy spot is for you without looking at everybody else, without watching what everybody else is doing, and being in your lane. Okay. I think more than anything tonight, I don't want you to think that this is an excuse not to work. And I know I already said that, and I'm going to say it again. It is not. I despise mediocrity. I despise average. That's not what I want for you. I want you to have a great business. I want you to have a business that somebody could look at and say, I want that, right? But that's going to come with really healthy boundaries in place. And that's hard sometimes because, one, we're watching everybody else. Two, there are no like solid rules of how much you can or can't do, right? So you can do it forever and ever all the time. And that's not healthy. There's just a million reasons that make it tricky for you to figure out how much you want to do, right? So this is not an excuse for you not to work. It's really a rally cry for you to rise up and define success on your own terms. We get burnt out. We chase other people's definition of success. We get burnt out when we are so consumed with what everybody else is doing. Why? And I need you to stop watching everybody else and define success on your own terms. Here's the deal. We're all in the same race. You might run it without stopping. And if you're conditioned to do it and it feels good to you, then I want you to run it like that. But you might be someone who says, I need to run for 5 minutes and then I need to walk. And then I'll run again. And then I might need to stop for a minute and catch my breath. And then I'll run again. At the end of the day, you are working towards a goal. And it does not matter how fast you get there. But what does matter is how you feel when you cross the finish line. Because I promise you, a title, an award, another rank, another level, none of it is going to matter if you feel like total crap. And you're going to start to feel like total crap when you're defining success on somebody else's terms, when you are running somebody else's race, when you're trying to keep up with somebody else. It's not okay. It's never okay. It's not going to be okay. So this is not me telling you to stop working. This is not me telling you to be lazy. This is me telling you to listen to the rally cry of your heart. It's to find the fine line. It's to define the expectation for you. It's to stop looking side to side and look ahead at where you're going. I want to address one thing really quick. I got to chat with a lot of you today in DMs, and it was really, really fun. And we still have ongoing conversations, some of you just talking about this idea of burnout. And so many of you said to me, I have lost my sense of why I'm doing this. And that's where it all has to start. It's okay to lose it. And it's okay for it to shift. It's okay for you to do the thing. Like my very first why was for me to be a stay-at-home mom. Turns out I'm not really all the best at that. Like I thrive in this. I love that I get to do this. Like this is my favorite thing. It's the perfect balance for me. I get to set my schedule. I get to work as hard as I want to or as little as I want to, but I get to put my babies first. I get to have a 3-year-old walk through a video. That to me is the thing. But I'm not doing this to quit my job anymore. Like that was 12 years ago, you know? So it's so vital that as your life changes and as your business changes and as you hit milestones, that you continue to reevaluate, that you continue to define success for you, that you continue to say, what do I want out of this? How do I want this business to look? One of the questions I asked today was that one of the girls that I was chatting with, I said, think about not only why you're doing this, but also what does it ideally look like to you? Like how often do you want to work? Do you want to work 3 days a week? Do you want to only work weekends? Do you want to work a couple hours a day? What do you want to? You can make this anything you want it to be. So why don't you define what it looks like and work towards that, right? And initially, If you're really trying to grow, it might have to be more than that. I might have to work 30 hours a week or 20 hours a week in addition to my full-time job to get my business to the place where I can work 3 days a week, or I can just work weekends, or I can just do whatever. Like, but define what you want it to look like. Decide where you're going. What do you want it to look like 10 years from now? Look to the people at the top. If you want your business to look like theirs, make that definition now. If you don't want your business to look like theirs, make that definition now. But you can't get someplace on a map if you don't know where it is that you want to get to, right? I can't go there if I haven't said this is where we're going. You can wander somewhere, you can end up somewhere, but I would much rather you go somewhere on purpose. Hold on. How y'all doing? I took a little too far into that like throat crackle, and my eyes are watering now. So here's what's funny. I know this is not like the most popular topic. I know people would rather say burnout's not a thing. Like, oh, that's like you're just tired. Like blah 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 blah. Burnout's a very real thing. It is a very real thing, and this is a personal growth journey. Part of you growing personally is you learning to listen to the rhythms of your heart. It's you learning to figure out how to manage this feels like too much, or this feels just right, or this feels just like a little bit too little. Like maybe I'm not doing enough. Are you talking to me, Tiffany? Girl, it's fun. You're funny. The biggest thing I want you to know is that all of the work that you do counts, even without the hustle. I'm here for hard work. I'm here for intentions and goals. I'm here for all of those things. Those are the things that grew my business and continue to sustain it. But I am not here for you working yourself into the ground, for you neglecting your marriage, for your family, or your kids, for you. And here's the thing. Neglect looks a lot of ways. And a lot of times it looks like looking at a phone when you could be looking into somebody's eyes. And we all fall into that far too easily. And it's not ever going to be worth it. It's not ever going to be worth your marriage. It's not ever going to be worth the relationship with your kids. It's just not. It's just not. So tonight, I really just want you to spend some time reflecting. What are the expectations that you've allowed other people to set for you? And remember, you set the expectation, whether you meant to or not. So what is the expectation that you've set? And is it realistic? And is it realistic with 1,000 more people on your team? And if the answer is no, then something has to change. And it's okay to say you were wrong. And it's okay to say we're changing things up. And it's okay to say this worked for a while, but it doesn't work anymore. All of those things are okay. You don't have to be right all the time. You don't have to have it together all the time. And you do not have to hustle all the time. Consistency matters, intention matters, goals matter. But what matters the most is that you know where you're going and why, that you know what your definition of success is, that you stop looking at what everybody else is doing, you set your own expectation, you set your own definition of success, and that you know and are okay with stopping when it's time for you to stop. And some of you are going to find this a lot easier than other people because some of you are going to feel the need to perform. You're going to feel like, but I have to keep going, but I have to earn the love and respect and all of those things from other people. You do not. You do not. You're good enough just as you are. It is okay to not respond to texts after a certain time of day. It It's okay to not respond to Facebook messages. It is okay to not respond to messages on your team page. It is okay. There are no emergencies. Everything can be dealt with in a timely manner. I posted this thing on my Instagram today that said something about how we were free as human beings when phones were connected to walls with a cord. And how true is that? When we constantly have our phone in our hand, when there is always somebody else, when there is always something else. And this goes true for customers too. And for me, I have gotten a lot of flack, and I have a lot of people disagree with me that I don't respond to my customers minute of. And you know what? I have a customer base that supports itself fully. They love me. I love them. I take care of them. But I don't respond to texts after 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm fine with it. Totally fine with it. And you know what? They're fine with it too. They're totally fine with it. There's not an emergency. They know that I will get back to them. There is an expectation that I have made clear that they understand and respect. You can do the same thing. I know some of you right now are on the other side of the screen arguing with me. Like, no, you don't understand. No, you don't understand. No, you don't understand. No, I understand. I understand that you haven't put healthy boundaries in place. I understand that there's a good chance that you're neglecting something else in your life. And here's the thing. I'm not saying that it needs to be 4 o'clock. I'm not saying it needs to be any kind of clock. I'm saying you define what success looks like. But there is never going to be a moment, never going to be a time when it is okay to be on and plugged in and connected 24 hours a day. It's just not. It's how you get burnt out. So maybe we just all need to go get phones to plug into the wall. I'm just kidding. Obviously, that's not the answer, even though I would have one. It's pretty great. The answer is you spending some time asking yourself what expectations you have put out there for your customers, for your team, and what expectations you've put on yourself. Are they expectations that you set, or are they expectations that you pulled in from everybody else? And define what success looks like to you. This is where we start. So I told you this was just going to be honest from my heart. It's what it is. I love you guys. I wouldn't come and talk to you about it if I didn't think it was important. So I hope that if nothing else, if it's not timely for you right now, that maybe in a month or in 6 months, that when it is timely, that you'll come back and watch it. Or hopefully, if you've never even been in a burnout phase, that this prevents that from happening. That would be my goal for you. So here's the deal. It's not really about a product. It's about an opportunity. It's about you can have a banana. Yeah, sure. Yeah. I forgot what I was saying because somebody asked me. Anyways, you don't get the idea. All of the work matters, even without the hustle. So don't define success by somebody else's terms. I love y'all. We'll talk next week. Who knows what we'll talk about? Something.
No.
Okay. Say bye, friends.
Bye, friends.
Say hi, Tiffany.
Hi, Tiffany.
Yep. She loves your braids. Uh-oh. Oh, we lost part of our banana. That's okay. We have more. And look, there's still a lot. It was a big one. All right. Y'all are the best. If it's something you want to chat about, shoot me a message. I will not respond to you tonight, but I will tomorrow or Monday or sometime. The conversations we already had in DMs about burnout, about what that feels like, were really helpful to me. And I just think healing for us to talk through. So I'd love to chat. Shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram, and talk till next week. Okay, see you later. Later, Gator.
Later, Gator.